Hello you lovely people, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. Did you notice? Did you notice I'm all grown up? Karin over on Kreativ Paper Artisan asked me to be a member of her design team, and I thought about it for a bit, and then I thought about it for another bit, and then she asked me again and I said yes. Thank you so much, Karin, for trusting me with your digital babies. I hope I won't let you down. The design team project for this month is to use the wee Woodland Folk Mega Junk Journaling Kit. And I'm going to have a look through the kit in a second. There is a discount code, and there is also a list of the other design team members down below. We have lots of gnomes in it. It's a kind of gnome kit. And we start with the pages. I'm just going to show these through. Just move that over there a wee bit so I can get them in. Love this froggy. Although it's mainly gnomes, it certainly is the folk, because there's other creatures, there's animals and things. Lots of mushrooms, some vintage gnomes, wee mushroom houses. These are the two from the front of the kit. I've got these 3 ones here, and this is a slightly different style of gnome here. We've got a foxy, nice foxy, and a different style of gnome again. We've got a fireman gnome here. Oh, and one sticking his tongue out. And this one with the gothic background. And a different style again. Back to that other style. Then we have some pages with lines, a plain page, and another lined page. Then we have some bigger, kind of the whole way across image, and I really do love that one. This is I really like this paper, and I love this paper. Love this paper. And then we have a medley of mushrooms, and then we've got one of these papers with small images, and this is a really, this is very different, but I really like it. I'm going to put that aside because I want to show you something when we get to another one. And I love this paper as well, actually. And then these mushroom papers, a whole load of mushroom papers coming out, and they are fabulous. Look at these, look at them. We've got some snails on these ones as well, because snails like mushrooms. Aren't they just brilliant? And then we have these ATC cards. I'm not sure if they're ATC shaped. Well, I've had to shrink them down, of course, to fit them on the page, so they're not ATC sized out. But I was thinking that these kind of match with these, and you could have an ATC of a different size if you wanted. Then we have some fussy cuts. Who doesn't like a fussy cut? And some envelopes and wee cards to go in them. We've got some hidden paper clips. Who doesn't like a hidden paper clip? Or 4? No, that's not 4, is it? That's 8, because there's 2 pages of hidden paper clips. And then we've got some pockets and medallions and belly band, and another page of pockets, medallions and belly band. Then there's this page of gnome sayings. You know me so well. Then a couple of pages of envelopes that, as is my wont, I've printed on coffee dyed paper, and a couple of pages of tags to finish off. So as you can see, it really is a mega kit. So that's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pages of ephemera. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's my big book, 8, 9, 10, 11 pages of 12 pages of backgroundies. And then journal pages, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21 journal pages. Will that be enough to be getting on? Clear down here, and I'm going to get on with doing our first make. So I have decided that for this first project as one of Karin's design team, the kit is so big and luscious, and I could have done a big journal, but I thought I'd concentrate for my first one on these little characters because he is just adorable. Sitting there on his, where's kind of his, is it his naughty stool with his tongue sticking out? He's just, So I have printed off the 5 pages that are this style of gnome, which is this page, and this is going to be my front cover. This page, and I love the fact that all these pages backgrounds are different as well. This page, this page. Now this is a pair, have the same background, but they're still different from all the other ones. And this page with this fabulous Gothic print. Love this Gothic print, Karin. More Gothic print. Oh dear. That's all Karin needs, is a demanding design team member. And then in addition to those 5 pages, I've also printed off 4 of the other pages. I've printed off this one, these fabulous trees with the lines, this cute little fellow with his mushrooms and a wee swallow or something there, and this one which is a couple of the gnomes that are in the kit. And I've printed all this off at 90%. And I've printed it all off at 90% for no other reason than to be able to give you a size. I'm, in case you haven't guessed from the accent, I'm in Scotland, so I don't have US letter size. I use A4 paper, so to make it fit on my page, I usually do shrink to fit. So I had to work out what shrink to fit was, and it's 90%, and everything's printed off at 90%. So I hope that made sense. So what I'm going to start to do is I need to first of all trim all these. Oh, one other thing. These I've printed on the back side of them as well, and they're all printed the back side the same, like this. They've all got this fabulous trees. I love this image so much. I cannot tell you how much I love this image. Just look, I just going, what have you done? Well, I hope it'll all become clear as we go along. This image is on the back of all of them. And this is where our wee gnomies live. They live in this forest. Where's that front page? It's the forest gnomes. And this is the forest they live, sticking out their tongues. How exciting is that? So what am I going to make with all this? Well, this is my wee prototype. And I've done this a million times, so why I decided I needed to make a prototype, I don't know. It's obviously just because I'm design team, I feel like I should have a wee prototype. This is really bad. You're not going to have it really bad like this. This was, well, is one of Karin's pages, and it goes like that, but this is the front cover because of how it's folded. So that's how this will become the front cover. And it is a little accordion journal. Flip through that. So that's what we're making, but it will have a couple of twists in it. It's not just quite as straightforward as this. I was trying to decide what size to make when I did this, and I decided that this was of the right kind of size to be doing. So the first thing I want to do is I want to trim off my edges. I don't want to trim off the tops because it'll be much easier to trim all the tops together when I put it together. I need to trim off the edges because the pages interlock with each other. I'll show you what I mean. So the pages go like that. I'd already trimmed this one right down and then I realised that was a mistake. So I need to trim off the sides but not the top and the bottom. So I'm going to do that now, and it's up to you how you do it. You can do it with your one of those, what do you call it, guillotine, or you can do it with a knife, and I'm a great fan of doing it with a knife. Oh, don't trim it off the top. You were shouting that, weren't you? I do have a wonderful guillotine that is for actually trimming books, but I can't get access to it at the moment, and I hope that by the time I'm finishing it off I might have access to it so that I can do the top trimming with it. So that's all I'm doing for now, trimming off the sides. So I've trimmed all my pages down, and now what I need to do is I need to fold them all so that the trees are on the inside. So I just want to fold them all in half. It's not a great idea to fold pages on top of other pages because there's a softness there that then will end up making your pages maybe not fold correctly. So measure up your corners, hold it in the middle, take it to the centre, and then go out from the centre. And if you've got a bone folder, use a bone folder. If you haven't got a bone folder, use something else. Use your handle of your scissors, use your glue stick, use your fingernail. Just find something else to use to give yourself a nice crisp fold. Okay, so we're going to do that with all of them, with the trees on the inside. Okay, so I've folded all my pages. I now need to decide what order I'm going to put them in. As I said, I want this as my cover, so this is page 2. So what one do I want as page 3? I'm going to separate them into my gnome characters and my other papers. You could use something like these scissors. I'm going to do that. Cut again using those scissors. So you've got a kind of deckled edge. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut these out. These, I was going to say the trefoils, but they're not trefoils because there's 4 of them. I'm going to cut these images out, or shall I just cut these bits out? See, this is a tracery window behind him. We've got this lovely arch, and then we've got a tracery window. So I've used my scissors to deckle all the edges, and I've put my, and I've finished, I'll show you that in a bit. I've put my pages into 2 piles. One is the pile of other bits and one is the pile that has all the gnomes on, and I now need to decide what order I want these pages in, because I'm going to alternate between them. So I need to start with the page I'm using for my front page, which is this one, and then after a gnome page I want an unknomed page. Well, they're all got gnomes on them, but let's go for this one next. And then I want a gnome page. Let's go for, let's use this one. Why not? It's on the top of the pile. Then that one was a kind of picturey one, so that means I think I don't want, if I put that on, then those are two kind of similar, that page there and that page there. So one of these two pages, does it matter? Not really. And then, oh wait a minute, just check that that page before didn't have lines. No, it didn't. And then I need the back page, which is the one with the door on. Right, so as we flip through the book, we have that. And then we're going to flip back through the other way, and this is when we actually create it. So this is a gnome, so I think that means we need a non-gnome page. I think. I might be wrong in that. Let's put this one in first, actually. Put that one in. Then a gnome page comes next. Oh, now, yes, I had to reprint a page because I made a mess of the decaling. And I thought, well, you don't actually need to print the whole thing. You can just print a strip. So I just printed a strip. That's why that one looks different. Because it's only that bit that says, you know, all that ink is hidden for that page. That's, so where did I get to then? I've just now turned that round, haven't I? Because that was that way, right? Okay, so we're going back this way, and we want a gnome page. Well, that means it's going to have to be this one. And then we want another one of these pages. And then the final page is this one. And I will show you what I have done. It's so confusing to go in there with the Gothic window. There we go. Oh, I haven't finished cutting it out. So let me show you the Gothic window in all its glory. And you can see the forest through the window. And that is the whole point of having these trees behind and these deckled edges. These are, after all, after the title of the journal is The Forest Gnomes. So throughout the journal we can see glimpses of the forest. So now we just need to decide if there's anything else we want to do before we stick down pages. So he's already in the forest, so I think we'll leave him as is. And this page has got the forest behind it already, so we can't really do that. We could put a forest page down, a forest pocket down here, and what I mean by that is cutting a letterbox so you see a glimpse of the forest, and then you can use that as a tuck. And I'm just wondering, I just think that maybe it's too far down. We're just going to get that layer of snow, which actually might look quite cute. Let's do that. So what we want to do is we're going to use this line of words are escaping me today. Butterflies. The point of this gap, you know, if you're just making a slip for a pocket, you don't need it that big. But the point of this gap is to see the forest through. Oh, I've just noticed I've not deckled that edge. Let's deckle that edge. And you have now a pocket once we stick it down, but we're not quite at the sticking down stage yet. So we've got a pocket in there. I'm just wondering if, yeah, that's good, because it also gives a wee bit more of the forest behind showing. So this page, now remember that, this is the thing to remember this, although this page here has forest, the cutout behind it, over the page of course doesn't, because it's a different page. So what do we want? Do we want anything in here? I'm just kind of, do we want to leave this one as is, or do we want, actually, do you know what I'm inclined to do with this one is to fold back and give a long pocket like that. Let's do that, and it's like a, and then we've got a pocket that way, and we've also got a bit of a tuck that way. So I think we'll leave this page because that's a lovely bit of foresty. Really kind of makes you want to lead into the forest, that one. And we might add a wee gnome somewhere in there. We'll leave this one as is, but we'll do something with this one. What should we do with this one? Because this has got the lines. Partly he's outside already, but of course it doesn't look like it. Well, maybe I cut the whole of that bit. Maybe I cut a big window so that we've got more of the forest showing as part of the page. I could, these flowers are lovely, and it would be a pain in the neck to fussy cut round. If I, right, I'm going to come back to that page. I'll leave that page as is. I'll leave this page as is. This page, I think we want to cut out a portion of this. Now whether we're not going to cut it all out, but my feeling is to kind of do something like that, just so we've then got the forest coming through again. Or do we just do, we just do a square, or we take down this bit here? If we did a big slot like this slot, but this way in that gap, then that would give us a pocket that way, wouldn't it? Let's do that. So we're going to use Right, so that's that one. This is the back page. Now, I'm very tempted. We don't have anything on the back here. We just leave this. You could put an image on that, but what we've got in the back here is the forest. And I'm tempted to just kind of partially cut out that door. Obviously he's standing in front of it, and just remove that piece altogether. But then what you would see is this, and I don't know whether, but then I could put a bit of this paper on the back here just so you see the door through, and I'm going to do that. I'm certainly going to make the cut. We're just going to have one of the doors open. We'll leave this one shut, and we're just going to have the door this side open. Yeah, nothing really. If there was a whole bit of the forest showing there, then I might have been inclined to leave it. You see, I'm almost tempted. That's a house, another house that you see there, but it's not very clear because it's the black and white, and this is all very colourful. So what we need to do is, we've got a bit of now, of course, because I was going to do all my inking at the end, and I've now gone and stuck that one in, that hasn't got any inking on it. Oh dear, I'm just glad I took that back out and inked it. I seem to have put it down in a slightly different position, but never mind, never mind. So we now need to think about how to deal with the back of this page because of this. Now we can either try and find a bit of tree, which should be relatively straightforward to do, and match it . That will need to be left to set, but what I'm going to do at this stage with this one, oh actually that looks quite good because that's another page. Oh, I quite like that. I might be not trim that down after all. I quite like the fact we've got a real feeling of 2 pages there. But what I want to do is, because this one might end up getting forgotten next time when I go around to, in fact, why don't I just do all the inking, because this one now has had its both sides done. That's what I should do, ink each page on the way back down. Can't do the edge, the bottom edges, but I can do all the things like this. Just need to be careful you don't end up ripping these things. Oh, that's why I wasn't going to do this as I went along, because you don't want to see, you know how to ink page, you don't want to see me inking pages. So what I'm going to do is I'll finish this one, because if I don't finish it, then when I get to it I'll think, oh, I've done that one, and I won't have finished it. I'm even inking the bits that are going to be cut off, because if I ink the bits that are going to be cut off, then, well, I don't know quite where it's going to end up getting cut off, so inking it all the way up means that wherever I cut it off will be, everywhere will be inked. So let's do this bit. and then try and get this page as well. I hope this doesn't end up being too wide now, so I can't use that double deck. Oh mind you, I could just trim it down a bit and still try and get a double edge, but that really does look, especially with it being the back side of the book, lots of pages still to look at. Oh, do the other side. Don't need to do the other side, but I am going to do the other side of this page because this page needs the other side done. But that page will be tucked in, but I'm still going to do it just in case something changes, and then I know that page is right. But I will ink everything else up afterwards so you don't have to watch. Oh, left this undone. When you're, by the way, a wee tip for those of you who maybe haven't been at this very long or aren't aware, when your bottles of glue are nearing the end, just moving a glue plug, when your bottles of glue are near the end, leave them lying down rather than standing up, because then you don't have to fight so much to get the glue back down to the bottom. They're all sitting here, so it's just a case of tilting it a bit further. Right, so let's put this back in the... So we have his wee door now going outside, and we've got a pocket here, and because we've got the slit here, I'm tempted just to leave this as is, although actually cutting that out so you actually see, but all you're going to see is that big white trunk, so there's not much point. But I might cut it out this, but I haven't got anything behind that one. Right, so we'll leave that one as is as well. And what about this one? See, again, I feel like, oh, but I can't, because that was my mistake in doing that page like that, because now I can't put anything. But I could put something behind it as a window, couldn't I? And actually on this page that's not colourful, that sounds terrible, we could have a window out and give a bit of the colour of the... Yes, let's do that. So we'll cut from that tree, we'll cut out this, and then we'll put a window of the woodland behind it. This is one of the wee envelopes that's in the kit, and it's just about the right, it's not quite and I can print off another envelope if I want to use this envelope again, so that's not a problem. But what I want is, I want this wood effect, because it's like a wooden envelope, and I want the wood effect. There we go. Using glue on my cutting mat is very bad. Very bad. I'd shout at anybody who did it. It wasn't me. There we are. So because that's seeped through, I'm just going to leave that to dry as we go and have a look at the next page. So that page was that one in there. And so this is the next page. So we've got a window on this page, so I'm suggesting we don't do one on that page. Now, this is the next one. And what have we got the other side? We haven't put any windows or anything, so nothing's restricting us on either of those pages. So what might we do here? He's looking like he's fast asleep in the forest. And I'm thinking that I could cut a kind of an area down here so it looks like he's sleeping under the trees. How far up would I want to go? Or do I just not bother doing it? Because that's just all nice and... Then the next page we've got that, so we've got nothing to do on that page, and then this is the end page that I'm not inclined to do anything in that. So this is the only page now to decide what I might... Of course I don't need to do anything. Yeah, Kirstin, you don't need to do anything. You can just leave it as it is. It's a beautiful kit. Why are you fussing about with it? Because you can't help yourself, Kirstin. That's why. Because you like to get your knife out and cut things and... Or maybe I don't do anything because I've still got pockets and things to add. Let's not do anything. Let's not do anything, because apart from anything else, this video is going to end up way too long because I've not even stuck pages together yet. Where does this go? That goes that way, that one goes in that one. So let us get on to the sticking of the pages together for it. I'm just going to tidy up things round about before I start with glue. Right, now, to get your pages even, what you're going to have to do is, can you see here, the pages won't actually go right to the temptation is to glue your pages right in, and that's one of the reasons why I put the decal edge, because that stops that temptation. You see the forest and it stops that temptation. But what you've got to remember is that you don't want to, so that stops you doing it that way, but you don't want to do it on the other side. So you need to decide what size your page is going to be, and then regardless of where your edges are, stick the bit of, stick it in the bit. See, that's ended up with a lovely bit as well, hasn't it? Look at that, how fab. Because we've got a double look there as well. Right, did that make sense? So there's one other thing I've got to do before well, there's two other things. First of all, I've got to ink everything. I've got to ink all the edges. The other thing is I just want to make sure that everything is got enough space before I ink it. So I need to lay this all out as if I'm ready to glue, even though I'm actually not quite ready to glue yet. And the thing I'm looking to do is all these folded pages need to be the same point as all these folded pages. And that one that's sticking out there is that one that we already know is the back page. And I'm not concerned about that sticking out, because that's not what, but we need to make sure the folded pages, so the folds are all the same. See, this fold isn't, so we just squidgy that page a wee bit. That'll give a nice crisp, and then I can see better. That's all nice and even. Now what I want to do is I want to check that there's none of these edges come anywhere near one of these creases. So that one's fine. Both of these are fine. That's a bit neat. But actually mostly it's okay because we've got plenty of room here. This is past the fold. It's not touching the fold, it's not over the fold, and because it's not meeting something here, this will be okay. Although I am tempted, it's a shame that snail isn't there, because I'm tempted to kind of do a similar thing there, so it really is a kind of way in. Do I just get rid of the snail? Don't really want to get rid of the snail, but actually there's something that says to me doing that similar to that, so that gives him more of an impression of him being in the. I can always move the snail elsewhere, can't I? I'm going to do that. I'm going to just, from this point here, I'm just going to start kind of cutting off round there like that. That's a bit straight. Let's give that a bit more of a. There we go. Yes, I like that. I like that. That really gives me that thing I was wanting with him being in the wood, sleeping, having a wee nap in the wood. And we'll keep the wee snaily. We'll do the snaily. Well, actually, we could maybe even just do the snail down here with this fern. So I'll maybe stick him on afterwards, so I'll put him in the box, but I'm going to stick him there on that page. But I do like the fact we've got this all kind of opening out here now. Whoops. Hold on, let's just get these level again, because I've doing that. Where did we got to? We've got here. Yeah, this is too close here. There's a couple of wee bits it's even touching the fold, so I need to trim a bit more off that one. Let's have a look the other side while we're here and just see if the other side needs any. Well, the other side, because it's got shut on there, is actually okay, but we do need to trim a bit more off this edge. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink it up, I'm going to stick it down. So I'll do all that, and I will be back with another video for the kind of decoration and what we're maybe going to do inside with these lovely gnomes. I love this kit, it's just so cute. Remember that the kit is far more than these gnomes. These gnomes are the ones I've chosen to use because I wanted this to be cohesive and all the same, because it was a small kit. But there's lots of different, if these kind of gnomes aren't your thing, then there's gorgeous vintage gnomes, and I've got another thing I'm going to do once I finish this with the mushrooms, which are fabulous as well. But for now I'm going to finish this so that I can show you the next bit, the decorating bit. If you want to go and grab the kit yourself, you'll find the link down below. Hands up, I love the kit, but it was also given to me so that I could do this video for you. But you can get, if down below, a 35% off voucher, token, word, coupon code. There we go. So when you go to Karin's Etsy shop and it asks you if you got a coupon, put in the coupon and you'll get 35% off this kit if you wish to go and buy it. Thank you again for watching my very first design team video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know if there's things that you would like to see. I've put in a lot more of my process than normal. Was that boring for you? Did you actually like having a bit more of that process because it was a design team video? please let me know so that I can do stuff that actually you want to watch, because so please let me know. Until then, you take care. Remember, keep crafting. Bye for now.